My name is Yellow Mist, and today we're going to be talking about copyright. And now, copyright is something that has been around for many years. And it first came about, it was first established when George Washington was president. And copyright has stayed the same since then. And copyright is where the owner and publisher can say, hey, that's mine, you can't use it. And they call it copyright law, but it's more like a punishment than a law, because a law protects not only the person who made the law, it also protects the people, while copyright law does not. It only protects the person who made it. And this was originally established for books and all that, but it was never established to be for music, video games, and all this other stuff. And that's a problem because it can be stifling. And this isn't supposed to be being rude or hating on it. This is just saying that, hey, we need to say, hey, we need to make copyright law more fairer. And there is something called public domain. Mickey Mouse went into the public domain. The original Mickey Mouse. The Steamboat Willie version. And the older designs for DC, like Detective Comics issue 27 Batman. Superman, Action Comics #1. That version of Superman went into public domain. And a copyrighted protected work can take the lifespan of the creator to become public domain, or if the copyright expires and they don't rewrite themselves into the copyright or something, that work that they did can become public domain. But it takes forever to go into public domain. So that's why I'm making this video, is to bring attention to say copyright needs to be fixed for the modern age, because copyright is not, as it stands right now, copyright is not made for the modern age. It was made for an age that is long gone. And one way they could do this is some platforms, I'm not going to name them, because I'm not trying to be rude or poke fingers, some platforms have strict rules and regulations. So if you use any copyrighted material, you're gonna get in trouble. So that's why creators ask, that's why creators use royalty-free music. And it's a headache to get copyrighted music legally. So that's why I'm saying that we revise the copyright system. So what you would do is you would call a number. There would be this number for copyright, and all you would need to do is provide some identification, and they would either deny you or approve you. And for some systems, and I forgot to mention that you would have a license printed out, and it would have some special mark saying that it's actually legit. And on other platforms, there would be this scan feature, and it would scan the expiry date. So you would be able to play that music or whatever you wanted the copyrighted material for. The system would scan it and approve you and allow you to play that music or whatever you wanted the copyrighted material for, rather than getting punished. And it would be logged in this digital database or something. And when the expiry date is up, it would not allow you to play that music or use that copyrighted material. And you would need to call the number again and say, I would like to renew this license. And this would be so much easier than how you would obtain copyrighted material nowadays, or how it is now, rather than a headache and being oh, I need to turn off the music if I don't want to get in trouble. You could just call this number, show some identification, and either get approved or denied. On platforms like Instagram and TikTok, they have blanketed licenses, so it's already prepaid. And that way, if there was this number you could call and get approved for a license to use copyrighted material, then you wouldn't have to turn off the music on a game. So you could play it as intended rather than getting in trouble. Nowadays, we still have the old system where it's a massive headache to get something you really want to use, but it's protected by copyright. And I just think it would be so much easier if there was a number you could call and you needed to show ID, and they could either deny or approve, because rather than trying to keep together a outdated system, you could improve the system, and that way it's fair for everybody. The fans who like this stuff, let's say I wanted to use Link from Legend of Zelda, but I can't because he's protected by copyright. If I called up the number to the copyright office or any other place that would handle copyright, I could say, hey, can I use the music in this Batman game? And they would say, yeah, we need ID or some proof of who you are. And they would jot down the information, and they would print out a license saying that I'm allowed to use Link and such, and it would be a win-win situation. It would be a win-win for the company that made it, and it would be a win-win for you. It would be free publicity for the person who made it, and it would be great for you because you get to use the character. But that doesn't mean you can go off and do whatever you want with the character now that you have permission to use the character. Of course, you would still need to obey the rules that they have. So you can't just make Link a completely different character. You have permission to use him, but you wouldn't have the permission to do whatever with Link. You would still need to obey their rules. So you can't just go off and make Link a Goron, for example. You can't make Goron Link unless if you get permission. You you would still need to provide, you would still need to obey the rules and such, but you would be able to use Link. And if you have bad intent, like, you're gonna change up Link in a completely different way, then you won't obviously be able to use Link and such. I just think that nowadays, since we are in an age where we have like technology and all this different stuff, copyright really hinders creativity and such, because you're creating all this stuff, and if we didn't have creativity, then we wouldn't have Link, we wouldn't have Batman, Superman, and all this other stuff that we enjoy. And I just really think copyright really hinders what we can do. And I just think if we rebuilt the structure of copyright, then we would be all happy. The people who made the content would be happy. The people who want to use their content would be happy. The only thing that would be different is you would be able to use copyrighted material and you would have easier access. Call a number and say what you want to use. They give you a license. You either get approved or you get denied. And I just really think that would be a better copyright system than what we have. And this video isn't supposed to be like negative or pointing fingers. This is just bringing the attention of copyright needs to be changed for the modern era. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I plan on making a stream next Tuesday. And it's going to be a prototype stream because, one, I haven't streamed in a while. Two, I want to play some Prototype. Anyway, guys, like, comment, and subscribe. And politely let me know what you think of copyright needing to be improved and fixed. Anyway, bye guys. I have been Yellow Lantern. I have been Yellow Mist. I still have that in my head.